Hey everyone! Today we're going to build this Sailor Moon figurine using microblocks. I got this set from Shopee. If you don't know what Shopee is, it's like Amazon. It's like Amazon but in Southeast Asian countries like the Philippines, Vietnam, and here I didn't get the box because I don't really need it. So yeah. This is pretty intuitive. You got a pack of bricks, micro bricks, and the blueprint. I'm not quite sure how many bricks there are in total. Based on the manual, there are 199 or around 200 blocks here. But usually the manufacturers put a few extra ones just in case you lose one or two. But yeah, and I always begin by sorting all the colors that I have. Here you have blue ones, white ones, beige ones, a few black ones, pink, red, and mostly yellow for the hair. So now that the colors are sorted, let's just set them aside. In total, there are 12 stages in building this figurine, and we'll start from the bottom, working our way to the top. So this is the first stage, and it has 2 layers. And if you're like me, you probably know that connecting the first 2 layers can be quite complicated if you're not careful enough, because you might accidentally knock everything over, and that means you'll have to start all the way from the beginning. Yeah, don't ask me how many times that happened to me. And there you have it, the skirt. Moving on to part 2, let's just follow the instructions and collect the bricks that we need. We have mostly white ones, and we have a few beige and red ones. We're starting to build the shirt, and we also have her arms sticking out on both sides. The red part that you can see in front, I think it's supposed to be the bow on her chest. Yeah. So that's a wrap for part 2. We're moving on to part 3. This next stage has 2 layers and it's very simple. I think it's the shortest one, the easiest one that we have, because it's simply the link between the top part of her shirt and her head. So we're putting a small neck right in the middle. That's it for part 3. We're now moving on to part 4. I think this is where things get a little bit more interesting, because we're now starting working on Sailor Moon's head. That's why you'll mostly see yellow and beige, and just a little bit of the other colors. So that's the shape of her head, and we start off with the chin and her nape. That's why we have a little bit of yellow hair. And then the second layer of part 4 shows us the cheeks, and the red part that you can see right in the middle is supposed to represent her mouth or her lips. It just looks funny from the top view, but I swear it's normal, it's decent from the front. The pink ones on those 2 sides that you can see, I think those are her cheeks. She's supposed to have pink cheeks, rosy cheeks. To be honest, at first I thought they were earrings while I was building the figurine, but when I went to Google to look it up, to look at pictures of Sailor Moon, I realized they're cheeks. Her earrings are not pink. I think they're gold. So nope, they're not earrings. They're cheeks. Rosy cheeks. Part 5 has 2 layers. If you see those tiny bricks that are black, they're for the eyes. Some of you might be wondering why I'm building micro blocks instead of actual Legos, the regular ones. Well, I have several reasons. First of all, micro blocks are cheaper. And number 2, we don't have a lot of space here at home. So I think it's more practical to have smaller ones, because that way I can keep collecting and building without consuming that much space. So yeah. And as you can see here, we're just putting more yellow bricks to give her hair more volume. And we don't want the inside of her head to be completely hollow. So we'll also put some beige ones in the middle. This next part is like the most annoying part in the entire set, because you need to have a little bit of hair hanging or dangling on both sides, and it keeps getting in the way. I'm not a huge fan. Moving on to part 6, I think this is just the top part of her head, and that's why we will mostly have yellow bricks and beige bricks. And I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like as you progress through the entire process of building this, it gets easier, because as you notice, it's just a mirror. So what you do on the right side is almost exactly the same as what you need to do on the left side or on the other side. You just have something like a huge block, a long block in the middle. It's supposed to be her forehead, and it's the same way for the back of her head. In parts 7, 8, and 9, you will mostly see yellow bricks, and I think 1 beige piece, as well as a few red ones, because here we will focus on adding the intricate details of her head, her hair, and her pigtails. Here on part 8 we have purely yellow bricks, and it's quite easy. It's just annoying because you're supposed to have her pigtails sticking out again, and I decided to skip that part because I don't want it to keep getting in my way. So I'll work on it in the end. One of my favorite physical features of Sailor Moon is her bangs, because it's just weird. It's weirdly cute. I remember when my brother and I were young, we used to draw some anime characters, and Sailor Moon was one of them. And I feel like it's one of the details that you cannot miss when you're trying to draw her. I mean, I'm not good at drawing. I'm not the best at it, but it's not Sailor Moon without her curly bangs. I also like those red details that we have on her head. At this point, we're done with the 2 main parts of this figurine, the body and the head. We're just missing the part that we skipped earlier, which was her pigtails, because as we said, it kept getting in our way, and so we'll try to do it now, as well as the feet. Living with 2 cats, I think Sailor Moon won't survive a week intact. So I might follow my brother's advice. I'll probably use some hot glue or like liquid glue. Keep each brick together. So there you have it, Sailor Moon in all her glory. So thank you so much for watching. If you want me to build more figurines, just let me know and I'll see you around. Bye!